Hi guys, White Warlock here. I'm preparing my build guide video for the Freezing Warp Stormweaver character, which should be done relatively soon, but I wanted to make a video updating my progress before that one, because I just transitioned to CI and Mind Over Matter. I wanted to show my gear, passive tree, and some skill gem changes. I found the perfect Jeweller's Orb in my maps, which I sold for 70 exalts, which massively accelerated my progress to CI and Mind Over Matter. I'm now finishing up the build and looking for upgrades, but there aren't too many on the market yet. So I'll talk about my items first. All the items are different except for my wand and my boots. So the wand is just level of all lightning spell skills, damage, mana, and a lot of crit chance. There's currently not any on the market that are better than this one, or at least within my budget. So for now I'll be sticking with this one. I updated the three dragons with 2 soul cores instead because it's corrupted. So now I can get 2 soul cores of Salato in it for 4% increased maximum mana. I also upgraded my shield. A little bit of an upgrade, like more side grade wise, because it just has more resistances and like a little bit more energy shield, but it has the same amount of block chance. There wasn't really a shield I could get with the same requirements for resistances with higher block chance than this one, so for now this is what I'm sticking with. Then my amulet is the same. I got mana modifier quality though, so it gets 10% increased mana regen and 10 more mana, right? So that's nice. I also allocated self-mortification for more stun threshold. And the 20% increased stun threshold while on full life is always applied because we are CI and we only have 1 life. Then I got a new body armor with resistances and as much energy shield as I could possibly get. I bought this one without the cold and lightning resistances, which I slammed on it. So that was pretty nice. So it's triple resist, triple energy shield. Just get as much energy shield on your gear as well. Maybe later I can get one that has more energy shield, but I really needed this for resistances. So yeah, this one was really nice for me. Then I upgraded my rings to 2 breach rings. They just have mana, dexterity, intelligence, and this one has lightning resist, and this one has mana regen. So yeah, these both give over 260 maximum mana, which is insane, and this one also gives 55% mana regenerate, which was a pretty low roll on its own. So it can even get better, because this was just tier 3, and yeah, it can even get better. But for now, these ones were relatively cheap, because the rest of the mods are completely useless to my build and to most builds, so that was really nice. The more expensive thing was the quality, obviously, because they're now 50% quality as well. So yeah, they just give a lot of mana and nice dex, and intelligence also gives mana, so yeah, why not? These are really good rings for us, so definitely recommend getting breach rings in the future if you can afford them. Then I got a new gloves, so I needed 40 lightning res on them. So they're just low amount of energy shield but maximum amount of mana and int, which also gives us mana. The life and lightning damage to attacks don't matter obviously, but this is the best I could get for now. I don't have another soul core yet, but that's the one that's gonna be put in here. So then we would have 8 increased maximum mana on our gear, so that's pretty nice. And the last upgrade is the Midnight Braid unique belt. I got a corrupted one with 23% increased maximum energy shield. So that was really good. This one cost me about 30 exalts. It has near perfect mana and it has perfect elemental resistances. And the reason we take this is because it says 50% of damage taken recouped as mana. So with with Might of a Matter, it really helps you like sustain the mana when your energy shield reaches 0, and helps you survive. Basically, also gives you some mana regen when taking damage if you're not taking the damage as mana anyway. So it's always nice to have. Then I'll go a little bit over my passive tree first and then go to the skills. So yeah, I've taken Mind Over Matter and CI. I've also taken the faster start of Energy Shield Recharge to really help. I really recommend taking these notes. These notes here are not needed. I think this is enough. especially because I got some faster start of energy recharge on my jewels, so you don't need this. Because this downside, the reduced energy shield recharge rate, is not amazing. So yeah, these three are enough, and it just saves an extra passive point, right? As you can see, there's a lot of green here and some red. This means weapon swaps. So these nodes are fully designed for a maximum conductivity. It really courses for a lot. It's really good. It's really insane. And yeah, you just have to make sure that on your skill bar, every skill except for the conductivity and the sigil of power on your staff are located on like weapon set 1. So that's the second you use like your ball lightning or your lightning warp. Like here, you can see you automatically swap to your first weapon set, so you don't need to do that yourself. But you put connectivity on your second weapon swap. And the weapon swap is both for a very good passive tree bonus, and well, you don't need to spend a lot of passive points on something you barely use, only against bosses and only once. But now you can just use it on a weapon set. The weapon I use for it is a staff with as much level of all lightning spell skills as possible, and the highest level of sigil of power you can get, and maybe some cast speed. But that's basically it. You don't really need more. And then yeah, you want to put the curse nodes like this on your weapon set 2, and then the more damage nodes you can put on weapon set 1. I put these faster start here because when you aren't really recharging anyways when you are using the curse, because you're using that at the start of a boss fight, and obviously the intelligence node here and the block chance nodes as well as on my weapon set 1, because we don't have the shield on weapon set 2. So yeah, this literally doesn't do anything in that one. Yeah, as you can see, the passive tree has changed quite a lot to like fit CI and Might for Matter, because I switched out of these like crit chance here. I also got the maximum energy shield nodes here, obviously because we're going CI, more maximum energy shield is needed. I cut these cast speed nodes because cast speed isn't really that important for our build, but it's nice to have on the wand if you can have like a insane wand that fits all the criteria of crit chance, lightning spell skills, levels, mana, and damage. Then you can get cast speed as well. That's nice to have, but it isn't worth the 2 points for now. I went, yeah, for, you want to have stun threshold, you want to have maximum energy shield, more stun threshold here. The anoint of stun threshold with this one is really nice, so can definitely recommend that. It's also very cheap, so that's also good. The next few levels for me are going to be the jewel socket, then this maximum energy shield and mana regen. Then also maximum energy shield here and mana regen and increased intelligence. And then I want to go back to crit chance to get my crit chance and crit damage as high as possible. Because I will show my skills. I am running as my main boss killing skill. I'm running a Comet. Comet supported by Biting Frost, Elemental Focus, Inevitable Crit, and Hourglass. So basically what you do is you freeze an enemy with your normal damage with Ball Lightning and Lightning Warp, and then you use Comet with like the insane amount of damage on that freeze to consume the freeze and deal a lot of damage. Inevitable Critical just gives it a 100% increased critical hit chance because you're literally never using it except for that boss fight, and the second you start in the map or like in your hideout for example, it starts ticking. So it's not that you need to use the spell or whatever. You can just put it on, and it's basically 100% increased critical hit chance. So you can like increase the chance that it critically hits, which you need for more damage. As you can see, it deals like the average damage per use on tooltip is about 70,000. It's obviously much more with sigil of power stacks and other things, and obviously it doesn't count the 50% more damage when consuming freeze, so that's really nice. The rest of my skills I'll talk about a little bit. So you have the sigil of power on your staff. in the weapon swap, which you can support with persistence, so more skill effect duration, and magnified effect for the effect to be a little bit bigger, so you can move around a little bit more. Then lightning warp I now support with shock siphon, which recovers our energy shield when supported. Skill deals killing blow to a shocked enemy, which is basically all the time. So this is just some nice energy shield for us. Like because obviously shield doesn't regenerate like life would if you have life regen. This kind of helps us regen when we are constantly taking damage, so the recharge rate doesn't start. For ball lightning, it's the same. Scatter shot, unleash, arcane tempo here for 25% more cast speed. But now I also take bludgeon, which knocks back enemies on hit. This helps a little bit for when your enemies are close to you. It helps them to like knock them back a little bit, so you might not get stunned or like stuck. Naturally, if like there are a million monsters around you, you will probably still die even with this build, and this build is very tanky. But yeah, this is like a little bit of quality of life, I guess, a little bit of defensive layer, but yeah, I think it's still good enough. Then Archmage is just supported with Lightning Mastery to get it to level 21 when we can, for the additional 1% mana as lightning damage. Then yeah, the connectivity is supported by Heightened Curse, Focused Curse, and Decaying Hex. Decaying Hex is just there because there's no other curse support you want, and this is like a little bit of extra damage. Who says no to free damage? The mana cost doesn't matter that it's high, it's fine. Then shield charge is new. You want a level 3 shield charge just to have as low amount of mana cost as you can, because you don't care about the damage, and the attack time doesn't scale with levels. So yeah, you want a level 3 shield charge, supported by Ingenuity and Second Wind, so you can use it twice and reduce the cooldown, and supported by Martial Tempo, so it's a little bit faster. And then after that, I do have a Mana Tempest located here, but I don't use it because I'm too lazy and I deal enough damage anyways. And the second you jump out of it with Lightning Warp, which can happen a lot, it immediately stops, right? But for now, it's supported by Premeditation, which causes Empower skill to do 50% more damage, which is nice. Then Inspiration, and you can also support it with Murderous Intent. This is relevant for if you're combat deals so much damage that it can also kill. That's the nicest thing, but otherwise, yeah, you can also just not do that and just use a two link to like lower the cost a little bit. But like, it's fine. You most of the time you don't really use it, but we have the space for more skill gems anyway, so why not? All right, that's my build for now. If you got any questions, please let me know, because then I can work them into my full build guide that I'm currently working on. I'm obviously creating more passive trees for higher levels, and I'm keeping the passive tree in for before CI, as well as some of the gear I use myself. In the build guide you can expect basically everything you need since you start with CI, so the best options for affixes, base types for gear, and even high budget options you might want to think about. So yeah, I hope you guys look forward to that. I definitely will. Thank you guys for watching this and all my other videos. The support is really nice. Yeah, see you guys later. Have a nice day.